Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving deep today into the 2012 Delhi gang rape case, which many know as the Nirbhaya case. This was, well, more than just a single crime, wasn't it? A truly watershed moment for India, really ignited this furious national conversation, and these fierce demands for justice.
Absolutely. And using the sources we have, our mission today really is to go beyond just the horrific details of the incident itself. Important, but there's more. We want to try and understand its profound impact, both on India's legal system and, the societal consciousness, how one horrific event sparked such massive protests and led to these significant, though complex reforms.
The incident itself, even now, it's just chilling to recount. December 16th, 2012, Jyoti Singh, a 22-year-old physiotherapy intern, and her friend, they board what they think is a private bus in Delhi. And what happened next was just brutal. A gang rape, torture with an iron rod, and assault leaving Jyoti with, well, catastrophic internal injuries.
Terrible. And she fought back. Sources mentioned she left bite marks on her attackers.
Yes. And then both she and her friend were thrown from the moving bus.
Jyoti Singh tragically died from her injuries on December 29th, 2012. And the sheer brutality of it all, it sparked this unprecedented outrage. National, international. That's when she was posthumously named Nirbhaya.
Meaning the fearless one.
Exactly. And that name, it became this powerful symbol of resistance, really resonated across the globe.
So the judicial journey, at least for the adults involved, it seemed to start quite quickly. What were those initial outcomes? And then how did that initial speed contrast with, say, the longer legal process, especially the appeals?
Yeah, it's a real contrast. You had the four adult men, Bhawan Gupta, Vinay Sharma, Akshay Thakur, and Mukesh Singh. They went through a fast-track court, convicted of rape and murder in September 2013, sentenced to death.
Pretty swift initially.
Right. But then the appeals process, that dragged on for over 7 years. The Supreme Court finally upheld the death sentences in May 2017, and they specifically invoked the rarest of rare doctrine.
Right. That standard for capital punishment in India.
Exactly. They highlighted and I'm quoting here, the brutal, barbaric, and diabolic nature of the crime. They detailed the specifics, the sexual violence, the use of the iron rod, the act of throwing them from the bus, just horrific details. They were finally executed in March 2020.
So a definitive end for the adult perpetrators after that long process. But then there's the minor involved. That seems to be where things got really contentious. How did the juvenile system handle that?
Yes. That was, and remains, a huge point of public contention. Because he was a minor at the time of the crime, he received a 3-year sentence, served in a reform facility, and he was released in December 2015.
3 years versus the death penalty.
Precisely. And this stark difference, well, it ignited immense public fury. It really spotlighted this deep conflict, between the public's understandable demand for retribution and the juvenile justice system's focus on rehabilitation.
That public anger wasn't just about punishment, though, was it? It fueled a bigger movement.
Exactly right. The protest quickly grew beyond just demanding punishment. It became a call for real systemic change. And that sustained pressure led directly to the government setting up the Justice Verma Committee. Very quickly, in December 2012.
And they came back with recommendations pretty fast, too, right? January 2013.
Yes, very swift work. And their report was insightful. It emphasized that crimes like rape aren't just about sex, they're fundamentally an expression of power. That framing was important, moving it from just individual acts to a systemic issue of dominance.
Which led to the government passing the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013, the Nirbhaya Act. And that brought in some significant changes on paper.
It did. It broadened the legal definition of rape to cover, well, basically all forms of non-consensual penetration. It also introduced new offenses, stalking, voyeurism, acid attacks, and punishments were increased quite drastically.
But looking deeper, it wasn't a complete adoption of the Verma Committee's ideas.
No, and this is fascinating. While many recommendations were adopted, the final act kept the marital rape exception. That was a big one. And it included the death penalty for certain rape offenses, which directly contradicted the Verma Committee's view.
They argued it wasn't a deterrent, right?
Exactly. The committee explicitly advised against it. So it shows that sort of selective adoption. They made changes, yes, but seemed hesitant to challenge some really deeply embedded patriarchal norms like marital rape, even with all that public pressure.
So we have new laws, stronger definitions, tougher penalties. But what about the reality? The implementation, the sources suggest a gap. That poor implementation, maybe police attitudes, judicial delays, even victim blaming. these issues persist.
That gap is crucial. It's why, beyond the legal text, perhaps the most profound legacy is the cultural shift. The case undeniably reduced some of the intense social stigma around reporting sexual crimes. We saw a measurable increase in reported cases afterwards. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean more crime. It likely means more reporting, more courage to speak out.
And Jyoti Singh's mother, Ashita Devi, her decision to reveal her daughter's name, that was incredibly powerful in challenging that stigma, too.
Immensely powerful. It put a face and a name to the tragedy, refusing to let her daughter be just another statistic hidden by shame. It humanized the issue profoundly.
So the Nirbhaya case, it absolutely reshaped India's legal landscape in significant ways. But it's clear the struggle for a genuinely safer, more equitable society, well, that's far from over.
Indeed. And that really leaves us with a question, something for you listening to think about. Given this persistent gap we've discussed between legal reforms on paper and the transformation needed in society, what shifts, whether institutional or cultural, do you think are most crucial now? What's needed to ensure true justice and safety for everyone?